Malware-based attacks. Malware is malicious software, code designed to break, steal, or control. It's the broadest category and the one most people have actually encountered. Viruses attach themselves to legitimate programs and self-replicate. Open the wrong file, and the virus spreads through everything it touches, like a biological infection moving through a host. Worms do the same thing without even needing you to click anything. They crawl across networks on their own, like the 2003 slammer worm that infected 75,000 machines in just 10 minutes. Trojans are the wolves in sheep's clothing. They look like real software, a free game, a cracked app, a fake update, but behind the interface, they're handing your system to someone else. Ransomware is what happens when a Trojan gets ambitious. It locks every file on your machine and demands payment to give it back. In 2021, the Colonial Pipeline attack shut down fuel supply to the entire U.S. East Coast. Within hours, they paid the $4.4 million ransom in Bitcoin. Then there's spyware, which sits silently and watches. Passwords, keystrokes, screenshots, all of it shipped to a stranger. Adware is the annoying cousin. Pop-ups, redirects, browser hijacks. Rootkits go deeper, burying themselves so far into your operating system they become nearly invisible. Keyloggers record every single thing you type. Your banking password, your social security number, your DMs. All of it logged. And fileless malware doesn't even touch your hard drive. It lives entirely in memory, leaves no trace, and vanishes when you restart. By then, the damage is done. Social engineering attacks. The most effective hacks don't touch code at all. They target people, because people are easier to trick than computers. Phishing is the classic. A fake email from your bank, your boss, your Netflix account. The link looks real. The logo looks real. You click it, you enter your password, and now someone else has it. Spear phishing is the same thing but surgical. The attacker has researched you specifically. They know your name, your company, your manager's name. The email feels personal because it is. Whaling is spear phishing aimed at the biggest fish, executives, politicians, etc. In 2016, a whaling attack on Snapchat's HR department tricked an employee into emailing payroll data for hundreds of employees to a stranger pretending to be the CEO. Vishing is phishing over the phone. A convincing voice, a fake caller ID, a sense of urgency. Smishing is the same attack over text message. Pretexting is when the attacker builds an entire fabricated identity to extract information. They're not your IT department. They're not from the government. They invented a character and you believed it. Baiting leaves something tempting out in the open. An unmarked USB drive in a parking lot. Someone picks it up, plugs it in out of curiosity, and delivers the attacker straight into the network. A study found 45% of people who found a random USB drive plugged it in immediately. Quid pro quo flips it. The attacker offers something. Fake tech support, a free service, in exchange for your credentials. You think you're getting help, but you're getting robbed. Network attacks. Networks are the highways that data travels on. Attackers don't just attack destinations, they attack the roads. DDoS stands for Distributed Denial of Service. Thousands of hijacked computers all flood a single target with traffic until it collapses under the weight. In 2016, the Mirai botnet took down Twitter, Spotify, and Reddit simultaneously by attacking a single internet infrastructure provider. Man-in-the-middle attacks are exactly what they sound like. The attacker positions themselves between two parties, you and your bank, for example, and reads everything passing between you. Neither side knows. Packet sniffing captures unencrypted data moving across a network. On an unsecured public Wi-Fi, a skilled attacker can read your traffic like an open book. DNS spoofing redirects you. You type in your bank's real address, but the poisoned DNS sends you to a fake site instead. You log in. The attacker collects your credentials. IP spoofing fakes the origin of network packets, making malicious traffic look like it's coming from a trusted source. ARP poisoning links the attacker's device to a legitimate IP on a local network, rerouting traffic through them invisibly. BGP hijacking is the large-scale version. In 2010, China Telecom briefly rerouted 15% of the world's internet traffic through Chinese servers. For 18 minutes, enormous amounts of global data took an unexpected detour. Web application attacks. Websites and apps are attack surfaces. Every input field, every form, every login box is a potential entry point. SQL injection is one of the oldest tricks and still devastatingly effective. Attackers type malicious database commands into a login form. The server processes them as real instructions and relinquishes its entire database. The 2009 Heartland payment breach, exposing 130 million card numbers, started with SQL injection. Cross-site scripting, or XSS, injects malicious scripts into pages that other users then load. Your browser runs the attacker's code because it looks like it came from a site you trust. CSRF tricks your browser into making requests you never authorized. You're logged into your bank in one tab. You click a link in another. That link quietly submits a transfer request using your active session. Directory traversal lets attackers climb outside a website's intended file structure and access server files they were never meant to see. Clickjacking overlays an invisible element over a button. You think you're clicking play. You're actually clicking authorized transaction. XXE exploits the way applications read XML files, potentially letting attackers access server files or execute remote code. Password and credential attacks. Your password is the lock on the door. These attacks are different kinds of crowbars. Brute force tries every possible combination until one works. Given enough time and computing power, every password eventually falls. Dictionary attacks are smarter, using lists of common words and known passwords to cut the time dramatically. Credential stuffing takes things a step further. When a company gets breached and passwords leak, attackers take those same username-password pairs and try them on every other site. Most people reuse passwords. Most attacks succeed because of it. Password spraying flips the script. Instead of hammering one account with thousands of guesses, it tries one or two common passwords across thousands of accounts, staying invisible to lockout systems. Rainbow table attacks use pre-computed tables that reverse engineer password hashes. If a site stores your password as a hash and an attacker steals those hashes, the table tells them what the original password was almost instantly. Insider threats. Sometimes the attacker already has a badge. Malicious insiders steal or destroy data on purpose. A disgruntled employee. A spy placed inside a company. Negligent insiders cause breaches by accident. Clicking phishing emails, misconfiguring servers, emailing sensitive files to the wrong person. Compromised insiders are neither. They're legitimate employees whose credentials were stolen, and now someone else is wearing their identity inside the system. Supply chain attacks. Supply chain attacks don't break into your house. They compromise what you order and wait for it to be delivered. The SolarWinds attack in 2020 embedded malicious code into a routine software update. Nearly 18,000 organizations, including U.S. government agencies, installed it. The attackers were inside for months before anyone noticed. APTs, Advanced Persistent Threats, or APTs, are the long game. Nation-state actors who break in quietly, stay invisible, and spend months or years silently collecting intelligence. No smash and grab, just patience. The kind of attack where you only find out it happened long after everything of value is already gone. Cryptographic attacks. Replay attacks steal authentication tokens and reuse them. The attacker doesn't need your password. They just resubmit your captured login session. Birthday attacks exploit the probability that two different inputs will produce the same hash, cracking the underlying math of security systems. Downgrade attacks force a system to abandon strong encryption in favor of a weaker, exploitable version. Physical attacks. Physical attacks are often overlooked. Evil Twin Wi-Fi sets up a rogue hotspot with a convincing name. You connect to airport-free Wi-Fi, and the attacker sees everything. USB drop attacks leave infected drives in parking lots and lobbies. Shoulder surfing is simply watching over someone's shoulder as they type. Dumpster diving retrieves shredded documents, printed passwords, and discarded hard drives. The digital and physical worlds connect through the trash. Specialized attacks. The newest frontier. AI-powered attacks that generate flawless deepfake voices, automate social engineering at scale, and craft phishing emails with no spelling mistakes. Prompt injection manipulates AI systems by sneaking malicious instructions into their inputs. IoT attacks exploit the billions of cheap, insecure smart devices, cameras, thermostats, routers, turning them into unwilling soldiers in a botnet army. Side-channel attacks don't break the encryption. They measure the heat, power draw, or timing of a device while it encrypts and reverse engineer the key from the physics. Cybersecurity isn't one problem, it's many problems, each with a dozen variations evolving every year, costing the world $8 trillion per year. Ultimately, someone wants access to something that isn't theirs, and they'll find the path of least resistance to get it. Usually that path is you.